Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review video for www.getbeamed.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at Wooden Hill Coffee Company's 100% Arabica house blend. Now it doesn't actually say house blend, it literally says coffee beans from Wooden Hill, and yeah, but a quick look up on their website does suggest that this is their house blend. So, Wooden Hill are a roaster based in Bedfordshire, I believe on a farm actually, and they've started roasting kind of third wave coffee, and producing these small batches that are found around Bedfordshire, and you know, Hertfordshire where I'm from. This was picked up kind of on the border of there, I suppose. So I thought, why not? Never heard of them. Thought I'd try them out. So a quick look up of their business kind of means. They're big into, you know, kind of environmental positivity and kind of positive means with their coffee. So, I mean, firstly, this packaging. Look at this gorgeous. It's just straight up recyclable brain paper. I need this coffee. Brown paper packaging that is stamped on, so it's straight away nice and recyclable, and it just looks kind of really gorgeous actually. And then it's got this nice little, you know, this is where all the information is. This little band that has the tasting notes there, and then it's paper that contains wildflower seeds, so you can actually plant it in the garden. Wildflower seeds particularly good for bees and, you know, other insects, so that's good. So and it says here on the back, for every 100 kilograms of coffee sold, they will plant a tree, and I believe they plant that in, I want to say Vale forest. I think that's what it's called, but anyway, so they do good things. Now this bag of beans, 250 grams, cost me £5.50. Cost me, I got it as a gift, but it cost £5.50. So instantly, alarm bells are kind of going off in my head, going, "Oh, Arabica beans for £5.50. Is this going to be good stuff?" And then I kind of dialed it back. You look at the packaging. It's kind of brown paper packaging with a stamp on, and you look at, you know, they're doing fair trade, which you kind of instantly go, okay, well that should up the price. So, are these going to be good beans? But if you dial, you know, I pulled myself back from being a coffee snob for a second, and you kind of go, they're not spending a lot on packaging, despite how gorgeous it looks. I really like this sort of packaging. And if they're producing small batches for the local area, $5.50 might be a reasonable price point. So here we are. I've kind of pushed through that snobbiness of the price point. I don't know why I'm complaining. Coffee is the only thing I will complain about not being pricey enough. Everything else, too expensive. Coffee, never expensive enough. Actually, it's overpriced and it needs to come down, but so is everything at the moment. Anyway, so $5.50 for 250 grams isn't bad going. I'm going to plant that later, and we're going to give it a go. So, the tasting notes, which are on this plantable band right here, say medium roast with hints of citrus fruits, caramel and honey. So not a lot to go on in terms of, or not a lot of specificity, but citrus, caramel, honey. Caramel, all about. Honey, I don't think it'll be that like sweet honey taste. I think it's got probably going to have a viscous mouthfeel, sticky. And you'll note citrus fruit starts first, so I imagine it's going to be quite acidic, but coats the tongue, essentially. So I've got it as the espresso shot, I've got it as the oat latte, and then I've got my glass of water here to cleanse my palate between. So, here goes, Wooden Hill, here goes. So the espresso shot smells very citrusy, really citrusy, but there's something at the end. It just kind of picks it up a little bit. You know, you've got that kind of acidity strong acidity coming off it, and there's a slight pick at, oh, is there a sweet something in there? Which would perhaps be where that honey kind of note is coming in. So, here goes. Oh wow, so considering what I was picking up nasally, as it were, orally, via smell, that'll be AU, orally, no, that's not right. I'm having a terrible day today with words, which is not good when you present a coffee YouTube thing. Whatever. You smell it and you go, that's going to be acidic, very citrusy, and that does come through, but it's not as acidic as you'd think. There's not that kind of bite, definitely there, but there is a kind of sweet smoothness to it that it's not a rough kind of biting, cloying. There's no sharpness, or there is a sharpness, but not. It just doesn't catch you like that. You taste the citrus, but you don't feel the citrus. Does that make sense? Does anything I do make sense? Who knows anymore? Anyway, so there's that whole deal where you expect a bit more sharpness than there is, and I think that's probably why they've added the honey note, because it's actually it's toned down quite nicely and there's a sweetness to it. Undoubtedly you get those citrus kind of almost limey biting, undoubtedly, but sweeter and smoother than you'd expect from the smell to the taste. So the honey caramel sort of makes sense in that. Now this blend is a blend from Honduras, Brazil and Costa Rica, so it's all kind of South Central America, Brazil. Now I'm a real downer on Brazilian coffee, because I just kind of go, oh yeah, they're the bulk shifters. They dictate the coffee prices. But they do sell some good coffee, so you do get good Brazilian coffees. But I tend to avoid them because I'm a snob. Costa Rica, I like a lot. Honduras, I've not tried a lot of, but they're all. I'm surprised at how citrusy it is from those regions. I always make an assumption that African coffees tend to be more citrusy, which isn't necessarily the case. It's just, I guess, how my brain works in terms of the first few really, really acidic, really citrusy coffees I tried were from Africa, and I've just made that connection. And likewise, I've tried a lot of Colombian and gone South America, chocolatey, caramelly, yeah. So that honey caramel makes sense to me. The citrus not so much, but as a taste, that's quite a nice espresso. I like it. It would wake you up in the morning, but not horrendously. It's not a horrendous bite, and there's a nice smoothness to it. So I like it as an espresso, but you definitely get that kind of a citrus tingle, as it were. So I would hope, from a personal point of view, you get more of that honey, more of that caramel, more of that sweetness, with the milk kind of tempering the citrus bite. Yeah. If that's how it works out, I don't know. But here goes. I realise I didn't drink the water then. An idiot. Shall we try that again? That's more like it. Now initially I kind of went, oh, that citrusy is still there. When I've actually cleared my palate, it's not so much. It is. But that honey caramel really comes out far more with the milk. And that's what I'd expect. It's a much more, it's much sweeter and smoother as an oat latte, as a milky drink, which is sort of what you would expect. Not all coffees like that, but that is the general trend. Yeah, your milk dampens the brighter tones and lets some of the smooth richness come to the fore a bit more. And here, that citrusy sits just underneath it, but that sweet, weirdly enough, that sweet honey is there. There is a sweet honeyness to it, and I think that's probably the citrus has been kind of tempered by this caramel note, this secondary note or whatever initially, so you get a nice citrusy, it's actually been really cleverly done because you get a nice citrusy espresso that doesn't bite too much, so that secondary note just cuts it, and then you put it with the milk, and then that secondary note comes to the fore, and it is a nice rich smooth honey, and then the citrus is almost the thing that's doing the cutting, and it just kind of raises its head right at the end of your sip, and you go, oh, there's a little spark just at the end. You're just gonna kind of be like, you know, pop rocks or whatever, you know, you're having a nice kind of chocolate bar, and then suddenly, oh, just at the end, yeah. So there's this kind of smooth rich warmth about it, this warm kind of honey taste, and then just a little burst of, oh, that's fruity, and it's enjoyable. I like a more consistent coffee personally, so I would like just that kind of honey smoothness just to power all the way through. But it's interesting, it's not a lot of coffees do that, play with the notes. I like that. It's a bold move, whether it's born out of kind of boldness or just out of, you know, their roasting process or whatever, who knows, but I like it. Is it for me? Maybe not, but I do like it, and I'm not gonna slag that off in any way, shape or form. It's nice. It's like everything about this just screams kind of simplicity. Look, simple bag, nice little band, all, you know, that's compostable, that's recyclable, that's pretty decent coffee. So I'm really digging it. I'm really digging Wooden Hill's whole vibe. And it's a nice coffee. Does it tailor to my specific tastes? No, I don't think so. Would I be prepared to give their other blends or roasts a try? Undoubtedly, because there's something about this that just says, yeah, it's different and it's nice and it's pleasant, but there is an element of not, you know, I don't think there are roasters out there that try experimental things. This is not an experimental coffee. You're not going, oh, that's different, that's, you know, a wildly bold flavour, but there is that little hint of, oh, why not try this just at the end, you know, and I like it. So I'm going to go away, finish this off, and write up some final thoughts for you. In the meantime, do hit those like and subscribe buttons. Check out our website, www.getbeamed.com, and why not look at our other videos whilst you're here. Thank you very much, and I'll be back with some scribbling soon. My thoughts on that coffee: it's got nice fruity acidity with a smooth softness, so it's not too harsh as an espresso, and it becomes watery. It doesn't. It becomes water and more syrupy with milk, or with oat milk in my case, with just a touch of kind of that citrus fruit as an aftertaste. So it's quite pleasant, and it's got that kind of syrupy and then citrus just at the end. So it's a nice little change up just right at the end of your kind of sip. So at £5.50, Wooden Hill's House Blend I've given 3 stars, which may seem a bit harsh considering how much I was complimenting it. It's just not for me, so I've just given it 3 stars because I think there's a lot of room, not to improve, that would sound horrible, but I think there's, I would like to see more from them. And I've not, that's the first time I've tried their stuff, so that may be on me. But it's a really pleasant coffee.
Just not necessarily in my wheelhouse particularly, but it's a nice Arabica coffee. A really nice kind of packaging, really simple and straight to the point coffee, and I like that. I really do like that about that. But you know, 3 stars. You know, puts it strongly in the good cup of coffee. You know what you're going to kind of get, you know, field. And I like that about it. It's very to the point. It's like, you want coffee? We've got coffee. You know, there's no fanciness or frills, but it still provides a little bit of kind of difference to your morning brew. As the espresso, nice and citrusy, and if you like that, I would gravitate towards that. I'm not a citrusy person, so maybe that's where the marking has fallen down for me. But ultimately, lovely coffee. Do give it a go. Thank you very much, guys. See you all soon.